Now, all of you have had leadership experiences in your life. How many of you are parents? Any of you parents? Some of you are parents. As parents, do we spend our time catching our children succeeding, or do we only talk to our children when they do something wrong? As leaders, do we catch the people who work for us when they succeed, or do we only speak to them when they fail? Now, don't be hard on yourself. Leadership is time inefficient. If you expect to be a great leader and a great parent and to save a lot of time, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Leadership, parenting is time inefficient. And what you have to do is force yourself to not manage by exception. We typically all manage by exception. If something's going right, we let it go, and we spend our time working on the things that are going wrong. At P&G, we have scorecards, or checklists, you may want to call them, and we tend to color them. Red, yellow, green. Green's going right, yellow's, in between, red's going wrong. And oftentimes our leaders will spend a lot of time on turning the red into yellow. But the reality is, if you want to grow a business, the easiest way to do it is to take what's going right, take the strategies you already have, what's green, and drive it even further. So try to capture for me the fact in your heart and in your mind, nobody wants to fail, and try to spend your time catching people and your children succeeding. Character is the most important trait of a leader. Now, I define character a little bit differently. This comes from my West Point military experience, where I define character as putting the needs of the organization above your own needs. In the Army, when I had a troop unit, I would always eat last. Everybody would go through the chow line before I ate. It wasn't that we were going to run out of food. That wasn't the point. The point was to demonstrate to the soldiers that their life, their needs, were more important than my own. And so the officer would always eat last. That's about character. That's about putting needs in front of their needs in front of your own. Now, if you're going into battle as a soldier, what kind of officer would you rather work for? One who's going to put their needs above their own needs, your needs above their own needs, or one who does the reverse? Now, Collins also wrote about this in Built to Last. He talked about level 5 leadership. He wrote that level 5 leaders are leaders whose ambition is for the organization rather than themselves. And I certainly have found that to be true in business. If you're a leader whose ambition is for the organization, people will follow you. If you're a leader who is less authentic, whose ambition is all for themselves, people will figure that out and they won't want to follow you. So character is an important trait of leadership. It all comes down to this famous phrase from the West Point Cadet Prayer, which has stuck with me throughout my life, and it's one of the things I think that differentiates Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble's been around, as I said, 171 years, because we've always tried to do the right thing. And if you want to be around a long time, if you want to sustain the institution, if you want to improve the lives of people, it's about doing the right thing. You might have to take a hit in a quarter, but you want to do the right thing for the long term.